Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third episode of the Godcast ZA. Firstly, like to start off by apologizing as we are late with the Godcast. It should have taken place yesterday, but unfortunately, I had some telecom problems, and like we all know, if you're from South Africa, we always have some internet problems. Make that be telecom or just your power being Eskom. So yeah, firstly, do apologize for that. But today we've got a great lineup for you guys. Some of the amateur players from the Call of Duty community, and one legend in the looks of Renato, as you can see on the top left hand side of your screen. But guys, if you have not yet, please drop a follow. Chris Sartin, I can see already you dropped a follow. Really do appreciate it. See the same there for High Five Loyal. All the support is greatly appreciated, and if you guys can please retweet the stream on Twitter as well, it would be great. As I can just drop the guys over into this chat, and I'm gonna start off by welcoming all the guys into the stream. In your top left hand side corner, you can see Mr. Nato, also known as Small Dick Nato, if you want to put it that way.
Hey, hey,
And then
I like
your
it.
top right hand side corner, the guy that thinks he's the biggest in the community, or probably is Mr. High Five Vexo, Mr. Luke. I don't know if he's plugged in his mic yet or not. But hopefully you can find that. Your bottom left hand side corner, we've got Vaughn, Mr. Fanboys, the captain slash CEO slash everything of Royal. And then your bottom right hand side corner is the guy that's trying to look like Vexo Flexo, just a bit more dark skinned, trying to flex there. Mr. Perez, a decent rhythm. Guys, welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
How's it? Thanks,
Yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day or out of your night to come join us for a nice chat. And as I say that bio cube or whatever, thanks for the follow. I don't know how you say that. Weasley 5000, thanks for the follow. But guys, I'm gonna get right into it. I don't know where if Flexo knows how to get a mic in to this Discord.
Tell us, he's still
He's
in
in
the
the
waiting
waiting
room.
room.
No,
Yeah.
I did put him over.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, there
Oh
I am.
yeah. Oh
Yes, it's
great.
Lucas
Yes.
costing.
Oh, what a
Welcome.
Lucas
costume.
costing, dude.
Welcome.
Like I do in scrims.
Okay, well,
you
yes,
know
I'm
it.
gonna
You said
start
it. You
off.
said it, not us.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna start it from the start. I just want to speak more of your individual team. How's that going, and how's things looking? I know things are quite quiet at this stage, just because of exams and whatnot, and you've got your academics to look after with. But Nato, how's things going with Ian?
Actually, I had a chat with them now, about an hour ago, saying, with the whole Vol being announced. I was speaking to them what are they gonna do? What's the plans? And I actually also asked Vian, if he's actually gonna play GE, and he actually said he isn't.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, we're gonna be looking.
So hashtag Intel, if
plan.
you're looking to join EN, you're gonna have to get into the DMs and you're gonna have to drop 50s. If not, if you're any lower than 50, you're not getting in. So that's
Or 3 minutes in hill time.
Yeah.
3 minutes in hill time.
Yeah,
not
I'm
me.
changing my gamer tag then.
that's
Oh,
basically
that's a
what
weekly thing.
Yeah, it's basically what Nato said. Yeah, it's one of the things that I wanted to bring up is that Vian's going overseas, and Vian being Ian Dreams, if for you that don't know. Yeah, and they need a replacement for him, you say, Nato.
Yeah, we definitely do.
And
I
what?
obviously can't say anything
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah,
but-
no, it's fine. But
Yeah.
is he playing EGE though?
Sorry?
Is he
What do you
going to play EGE though?
Yeah, no. He's flying down to where's he going to America? So
Ooh, so you
he's
need
leaving towards like the last week.
So Ian needs a player by end of next month.
Yeah.
Unless
let's put it that.
obviously you wanna be playing again, Mr. Nato.
I won't be competing. No, they're definitely gonna get a fourth, but we'll see
Okay.
what happens.
Then Mr. Vexo Flexo, how's things going with High Five at the moment?
Oh, things are okay. Things are going well. We haven't been playing as much as we used to when we just formed, due to Loyal being in exams at the moment, and Reigns has just started with his. So we're trying to play as much as possible. We won the last 2K last Sunday, which we were quite chuffed about. Seeing as that we always play well in scrims, and when it comes to tournaments, we choke really badly. So hopefully, from going forward, from winning the 2K, we broke that bad tournament streak of basically just choking. And other than that, things are well.
Things
all
looking
four
up.
of us, all four of us get on very well. We're very close with one another, and that's pretty much all I can say.
Yeah, I must say one of the teams that obviously people will look at is High Five. High Five was in the Call of Duty community for quite a while now. Probably one of the first orgs that was out there. I know Nicholas Holden had something to do with High Five as well. Now it's all up to Drew. But the big thing from High Five is you don't always see roster changes come and go. And I think that's the big thing from them at the moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, we've gotten a lot of advice from our managers and from the old puppies in our team. They've obviously been around a long time, and so have I. I've been competing competitively since Black Ops 2. Well, actually MW3 is where I started playing comp. And I'm not the captain of the team. Reigns is the captain for some other reason.
Mr. Reigns, I think you can have. He's trying to say, give him leadership.
Well, no one listens to me anyways. I try to play the leadership role, especially in scrims, but no one listens to me, so it just doesn't work. But I basically said to the Oaks, if you want to, for me, okay, you can rely on skill, yes, but there's only so much skill that you can rely on. You need to be able to come together as one, as a whole, as a unit, and just to form that chemistry and gel as one another. And you need to stay. Like, this is what I see with teams the whole time. They play for a couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks, and then they lose a scrim. Or they lose against an underdog team, and then they do a roster change. Like, that's not it. That's not how you solve a problem. You need to look into the problem. You need to record your scrims, go back, watch streams. Like, say for instance, you streamed the game. You need to go back, watch the replay, see what you did wrong, work on it. Practice is not just scrimming. It's also going through strats, going through learning how your other 3 teammates play and adapting to their play style and vice versa.
No, I get what you're trying to say. Okay, well, we're gonna move along then to Mr. Vaughn Fanboys. How's Royal doing? I know Royal has gone. You had a change, I think, in this month, or am I wrong?
Yeah, so going into leg 2, we went through a change with Just More Bullets deciding that he was going to stop playing. He had some technical issues on his side, unfortunately. And then we had another issue. Leg 1. And then leg 2, we had another issue again. And Bullets came back to help. And then going into this leg 3, obviously we've picked up Slayer J. And we've been trying to scrim as much as possible. Unfortunately, with a lot of the teams not playing due to the circumstances that the community's in and the interest, it's a bit hard. But you've got to try and get in as much practice as you can, improve where you can, and we're not looking too bad at the moment. Maybe with this Val announcement, there'll be more teams scrimming now, so it'll give more chance to practice each night.
Yeah, I think it will look good. I'm still a bit worried about me playing for my team this weekend against you in any way. As you all know, I don't like too much playing this game. I'd rather just sit back and cast, because usually if you can't do, you teach, and that's exactly why I'm teaching. Not teaching casting, you could say. But yeah, I think Royal is definitely in the right direction. You can't go wrong with picking up Slage. I think he's a good player, and
no, definitely,
yeah. I think Royal's
he's shown a lot of potential. Like even Trexie and Luke and them, like they're There are three solid players. They play well together. We play well together as a team. I've got teammates, example Trexie, that gets called the online warrior, and that's so hopefully come EGE, and that's maybe things can change, and that's let's just look forward to EGE and.
How old is he, AJ? How old is he?
Jamie, I think is 20 something or 20.
Yeah, he's 20. He's 20 on the dot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I think EG will be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that's one tournament I can't wait for. EGE last year was the best tournament of the year. Oh, we only had two, but that one was the best. By far.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good thing for all the teams though, because a lot of guys on teams get called online warriors, etc. And I think just being able to settle it at LAN and get your name cemented in stone there, that you're not just an online warrior, I think it'll be a benefit for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
There's also like a lot of new players coming into this year that we haven't seen them play on LAN.
Exactly,
Yes.
it's another thing I
that's
wanted
true.
to say.
Yeah.
We can see in that COD's 2K18 group, there's 130 people in that group, and that's just touching the community. So I think there's a lot of guys that's gonna show potential, and hopefully the guys come around to do so. Okay, moving along though, Mr. Perez, how's Fit Descent going?
I think it's going decently. I think the one thing that's kind of set us back right now is that we haven't been practicing for like a week and a half, mainly due to exams, as Luke was saying. But we kind of had a bit of a change recently. Riff decided to leave, and he went to Legacy.
Yeah.
I know one of the reasons Luke was saying is because like we started like losing like scrims, like 2 or 3, and then he got a bit mad, and then like he just left from that. The actual reason, like the conflict, I won't go too much into it, but so he decided to leave, and then we had to completely switch our whole roster out. So a little bit because we had to bring Summit in. So we've picked Summit back up because he was in the original 50 roster.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to practice even more because now we're waiting until he comes back on Friday from exams. So we haven't practiced at all with Summit. So we're gonna have to like start from square one again. So it's gonna be quite a tough one. But we are playing with our owner for now as the pickup. So he has some good potential as well. I think like he could get into a team potentially like soon enough, but I do think that we can make some progress now.
Yeah, well, even Summit's not a bad player. I've seen him play. When it comes to eight's the guy wrecks sometimes.
Yeah, he roasts.
I think it's a good pick. Now that Rift is at Legacy, and we wish him well. Then hopefully he can grow that brand. But yeah, 50 Cent also looking good. But now I'm gonna move along, and I might just tramp on a couple of toes here. And I'm gonna stick with the High Five and Descent organizations. And I want to know from each individual, Luke, from you and Perez, the little controversy there was with the Prem account. As I know it, it was 50 Cent's account, and High Five or Luke, you asked if we could play on it for one season, and then they would leave or whatnot. Luke, just run me through that, please.
Okay, so our first message Summit about the accounts. Okay, so let me take you back. We dropped Harmsy, and Harmsy and Carnage were very good friends. Carnage was the manager of our DJL accounts. When we dropped Harmsy, Carnage was salty. They both left the team. Carnage deleted our DJL account.
Yeah.
So I looked for another DJL account. The team wasn't active. I spoke to multiple number of teams, and then I spoke to Summit and Exclusive. I just said I wanted the account just for that leg, and then we can speak further. So they gave the account for the leg, and that was the agreement. Then during the season that went on, I spoke to Exclusive, and I offered him money for the account.
Yeah.
He said that he'll get back to me, and he's gonna think about it. He did get back to me. He said that's all cool for now, but he might change his mind. So I said I can't work on a might. I can't work on a maybe. I need a yes or no definite answer, because if you're not going to give me that account, I need to go look for another account for the legs.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so that's
yeah.
It wasn't a definite yes. It wasn't a definite yes, but it was 80% yes, 20% no, from my understanding. And what I didn't appreciate is that he sent out voice notes from my side before the leg started, asking if we could just borrow the account. He didn't send the voice notes during the leg that we discussed further plans of High Five taking over the account for future. For future legs. And I couldn't give any voice notes out because I delete my chats. That's it. But I said to the guys on Twitter, I said to Morgan, I said to my whole team, I said, just leave it. Because I organized us another account now, which is ours. I run the account.
Yeah.
So there's no ways that we're going to get kicked off it. So I found us another account, and that's all I'm worried about. That's all I cared about. I said, just leave it. I don't want any conflicts or any unnecessary drama or any bullshit. I just want to keep it civil. I don't want any haters. Nothing.
But is it allowed though? This account swapping thing?
Well, last year we had Legacy buying an account from I can't remember who, and
it was crypto.
Yeah, I think it was crypto. Yeah, it was crypto, and they offered them money for it, and they got the spot, and they could play DGC. So I wouldn't say it's the ideal, and it should be allowed. But if one team is really looking for playing Call of Duty and it's gonna up our numbers, I don't see too much wrong with that.
Yeah, but I mean it's I mean to grow the scene, it's not a bad idea. I mean, but
yeah, but
if Legacy did it last year, it's not the ideal thing to say. Like if they did it,
like as well,
like from my side of it, like there wasn't like when I joined Ascent, like and I heard all of this happening, like I didn't know what was happening behind the scenes. But like when I was talking to the owner and stuff, he said like he didn't know like all this, like his intention wasn't to do what he did it, like because he was under the impression that Luke was okay with it, so like that's why like he did it. So because he kicked everyone from the team and then he put us on because he thought that you guys are just going to use it for the leg. So
okay, so it's just a miscommunication between Luke and obviously
Luke, did you guys take over that? Did you take over the Ace Gaming account?
No, we took over. I can't even remember the team's name. We had team name. They all like stopped playing Call of Duty. It was in the first division, so we're currently in the first division again.
Okay. Yeah, you should find your way up to Prem anyway again. I can't see you guys in the first division. Well, we got Ian and Origin in the ladder division, so well, I don't know.
That's a bit of
what's happening there, bro?
So,
because
so we decided we're not gonna go and compete at Rage under this VS Gaming thing because I know the players just lost motivation on this ladder because they got screwed over by. I mean, it's not screwed over. I mean, they should have just followed the rules in the first place. But I understand where they're coming from with the whole rules and everything. So they just. Obviously, there's not enough, legs left for them to make it back into Prem, so they're just gonna sit back on it.
We must just remember that there's still invitations to DGC, so.
I mean, if that comes through, then obviously they'll play in that. But I mean, the actual grinding part of it, where go from division to division, they're just gonna sit back on it. They're not gonna go ahead.
Yeah.
Because something that didn't happen. Sorry, Dennis. Because something that didn't happen this year was the Community Shield. If you saw at the start of IW, they had the community, which the Ian roster won right at the start, I think in January of last year. Any division, they didn't play any legs throughout the whole year because of the Community Shield. But this year there's been nothing. It's been just your divisions and that's it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hopefully this year it will be a bit different when it comes to it. But guys, just before we go on, I just want if you can do something with your mics, it's just a bit. I don't know if someone is eating supper now or something. I can still hear.
Yeah, it's Luke.
It's really loud or
Luke,
something.
You're always eating, dude. You don't need to get any bigger now,
Luke is on that cycle, my man. On that cycle.
Dude. The only cycle I'm on is a bicycle, bro.
Okay,
you'll break that thing, dude.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna move along now as well. Now that we did speak a bit about DGC, and an organization that just followed me on Twitch is Val HQ. Let's get to them quick. If you guys did not see on Twitter earlier today, we had Val HQ tweeting out they'll now be a tournament organizer for South Africa, online tournament organizer for South Africa Call of Duty. And what Val HQ is basically something like ACGL. They put out a tournament, there's cash involved, and some of them is, I don't know if there's some of them that is paid to enter, but most of them aren't, and so you can it's free to enter. And there's pounds, not just rands like we work in, but there is pounds on offer to for winning the tournament. And I see they categorize them from first place to 10th place, so up to 10th place still get some pounds in your pocket. So
Sure.
if you guys are so keen into playing Call of Duty, like I know we all are, and all of you in stream most likely are, I think you guys definitely need to go hit them up, drop them a follow on VAL_Africa. They are the online organizers for Call of Duty South Africa. And guys, what do you think? Obviously, this is going to inject more into our community, and people's going to realize this. And yeah, I think I need to start playing now.
Definitely. I do think like now everyone's going to start playing for this tournament, because right now everyone's kind of bored of this game. It's like a mission to get on and play. But now, since Val has announced this whole tournament thing that they're hosting, I think it's really something to push us forward. I also think it's something to keep the community also at a bit of a restricted level in terms of what they say and what they do on Twitter as well, like in terms of how we carry ourselves as well. So I think that's also a nice way to kind of put a barrier on us and what we say on Twitter, and how we convey ourselves to international.
Nato, with your team now, obviously it's exams or whatever, would something like that reignite them to play the game a bit more?
Yeah, so I spoke to them about it, like what their thoughts and everything. So I spoke to Rob, and he told me at the moment he's not going to make any decisions until Medal States announced. So we don't want to pick up a fourth and Medal States of 18, and then we pick up the wrong guy, and then we have to make another change. So they're obviously keen on it, because we've been complaining we don't have tournaments, and they finally come here to South Africa, which is good, because I mean it shows that we being better on social media for them to come here. I mean, when a tournament does get announced from Val, I mean the guys are definitely gonna have a look into it and put in the time. But the main thing is obviously from Medal State. That's what's keeping us at bay at the moment.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And Vaughn, from your side, Royal definitely going to put more into it now with this tournament organizer on board.
I think how it'll benefit us is it's gonna, if more teams get that drive to start playing again, it'll just give us the ability to practice more and have more teams available to scrim and play against. Because our drive has been there, we've been wanting to play. It's just there's been no one to really play. You can't keep playing the same people over and over again. So I think from a community point of view, it just might spike that interest, like you stated, in the players to actually want to get on and grind. Because I know we're all about that Fortnite grind instead of COD lately.
No, and that does irritate me. Everyone always speaks about getting the community up there and the Call of Duty community, but people are playing Fortnite and streaming Fortnite, not Call of Duty. But yes, I do get it. It is quite dead at the moment. But I think something like this Val HQ really is going to ignite us all to play this game a bit more. Get the teams on again. I can't remember when last Vinko and Ian actually scrimmed each other.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Have they even played each other in the last 4 months?
Yeah, probably the major last is the last time we actually played.
Yeah, I mean it's understandably so, though. I mean you can't blame the guys in investing time if there's nothing to invest into at the moment. I mean, obviously, with the tournaments coming back, the teams are going to start becoming more active again. Like I said, as soon as something does get announced and it's worth our time, then then the guys will stop putting in the hours.
Yeah, Luke, and you guys now probably going to stop your jobs and becoming full-time Call of Duty players.
No, for sure. That's already happened.
That's already happened.
My job, and I'm planning to move overseas and turn pro.
Yes.
So if JCB is watching this, I'll meet you there.
CWL Vexo, dude.
CWL. you and Adam Orbit and Jesse Bean. There's your team.
Yeah, no, we don't even need a fourth. We don't even need a fourth.
No.
Yeah, but with what Renato said, like I agree with that. You can't really blame the guys for the community for not wanting to play it because there's no reason to play. And I know that sounds a bit harsh, but yes, ACG are trying their best to get the community up and running, and big ups to Nick Holden and his team. Really appreciate that. But I mean, like with the 2Ks and then the 2v2s or the 1v1s during the week, it's people only play that for the XP for seeding for the minors and the majors. But there's not even teams that are entering these lands. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous.
That's something we got to talk about, though. I mean,
we have to talk about that.
Entering lands than there are now. How does that even make sense?
Yeah. But I mean, listen. Like, I mean, in my opinion, I think it was. I mean, and they came out and admitted it themselves. You know, Holden came out from LA, dude, and he said that there was a mistake of them hosting it during exams. I mean, like, you can't expect to have entries for these minors when if like teams just simply can't play, dude. I mean, if you can't attend a LAN because you have exams, I mean, you can't blame the guy for it.
No, understandable.
Timing.
But I'm saying, also even last LAN though, the LAN, not this LAN that was the recent LAN, the previous LAN before that. I mean, Cape Town only had 5 teams.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it all comes down to timing, and unfortunately, the timing was wrong on the previous minor. I had Nick on my previous podcast as well, where he said it was all down to timing, and it's one of those things. We'll probably have another minor soon, and the numbers would pick up because it will probably be in the holidays that's come.
Yeah.
But
Can't wait.
Renato, I'm gonna speak to you again. You were at the Metal State announcement, Black Ops 4 announcement, and Metal State. I want to find out more from your side. How was that experience, and what did they say about maybe some intel of a tournament?
Okay, listen. Before I get into this, dude, I tried my absolute best to get as much as possible out of those guys, dude. I mean, and they were tough, dude. I mean, so the whole experience itself, was amazing. I mean, I went there I thought I was just gonna watch the reveal, I didn't think I was gonna do anything, and then next thing they take me into a studio, and I'm like, what's happening here? Like, what are they doing? And then they stop putting a headset on me, stop putting cables around me, and next thing I know, I'm doing a live call, like a live commentary and everything. So it was a cool experience, something I've never done before. Quite cool. And the whole tournament thing, I was like, listen, guys, what's happening? The community wants to know, what's in the pipeline, and they said that it's obviously it's not their fault, like it's not on them. They did come out and admit that they were like, it was stupid of them to put out that tweet. So they did come through on it. But like, I mean, they said that they're just waiting on Activision side. It's nothing on them. So as soon as they get confirmation from Activision, because it's a long process, it's not something that just happens in 3 months or 4 months. It's like 8 months, 12 months of planning. So they did say that it's definitely going to be worth the wait, and we must just keep our eyes peeled and be patient, because when it does happen, it's going to be big. So,
well, I must say, if Metal State now comes to the party as well, and now we have Val as well, yes, it's gonna be then the community is really gonna have that buzz around them to actually get online and play. Some people are just gonna say screw studies and let's just play. But hopefully not. So let's first get past the trick, and then you guys can put in all the times that you would like Luke. He plays 24/7.
Yeah, he never stops.
He never stops. Maybe that's why he's so good. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Guys, my next point is something that really got to me. And Brad, Mr. Cherry EU, not ZA, EU. About social media. Now, I'm gonna bring up the one incident we had with I think it was Savage in that COD ZA group. where I think they were scrimming someone, or it was eights and
Would
someone...
you? I can weigh in on it, bro, because it was my team.
Yeah,
I can weigh in on it if you'd like.
Yeah, please. So what it basically is, he said something on our Call of Duty group on WhatsApp, and obviously when stuff is said in there, we don't usually like to put it on Twitter if it's a big topic like it was. And then he went to screenshot what he had said on WhatsApp and put it on Twitter. And a lot of people was quite senti about it, saying, listen here, why is it necessary to be on social media? Because stuff like that's just not supposed to be on there. And if you want to know what I'm actually talking about, Vaughn, would you be explaining to them, please?
So, you see, we set up a scrum to play them. Jamie messaged the COD group to ask for a scrum. And what came about is him and Connor started organizing, obviously, who's going to host, etc. And Connor asked, can he host? This is Savage. He asked, can he host? He's got a 40 meg, blah, blah, blah. We were like, cool, go host, not a problem. Sweet. He then asked, can he stream at the same time? Now, no problem. Once again, stream, by all means. So we start scrimming, and I think it was Ardennis Forest, HP, and the whole lobby was... Okay, it was the first map, sorry, the London Docks. We were dropping to 2 bars and 3s. That was okay. 2 and 3 is fine in the first map, but he was going into, when you go into the menu, that glitch when the host is going into the menu 24/7 to change his class, and that. So we were getting the glitch. So at the end of that game, we said to him, "Hey, bro, please, if you don't mind, just stop going into the menu so many times because we keep getting that little lag spike every time you do." So he's like, "Okay, cool. No problem. It was first game, etc." We got to the second map, SND against them, and from round 2, I could say, we literally sitting there, the whole lobby, not just us, not just one guy, not 2, but the whole lobby is sitting on 2 and 1 bar. Everybody is dropping back and not even going to 3. We're literally staying at 2 and going to 1. So we send them a message saying, like, we can't play, like, you can't expect us to play on this, and can you end the stream? And then it just became a rant between him and Jamie, and then he said to Jamie, "No, but I told you I wanted to stream. You guys said it was okay that I could stream and host," and it turned into a typical WhatsApp message between 2 heated people. And he's putting it, and I'm gonna defend my guy 100% here. I'm gonna not gonna say Jamie did a few things back to him, but he did start with a nice little voice note to Jamie, which was, if he's trying to build a community and, like he says, and not down people and put people down, then he should really have listened to his voice note over, because he clearly did not get what he was saying there. And the way he said it, the way he spoke to Jamie was completely wrong. And that's what fueled Jamie to then carry on. And it turned into a little fisticuff over WhatsApp, but literally started around us saying, we can't play on a 1 and 2 bar, and for him to stop the stream. And it just went from there. And then he decided to run to the COD group, and then he decided to run to Twitter. And I just sat back. I didn't get involved. I waited, and at the end of the day, he did just as much shit in the message, and he said just as much cuck. So he's made himself out to be like he was the victim, but in essence, he started it. He got the ball going. So I don't appreciate it from that side, but like Luke was saying earlier, even with the controversy between High Five and 50, you don't want there to be cuck on Twitter. You don't want to cause more fights. You cause more things. I left it where it was, and I didn't get involved in the COD group. And when I saw the topic of conversation for tonight, I knew that was the whole reason behind it, and that's why I waited to come onto here and to say, Connor, if Connor wants to personally message me now in the background, by all means he can do so, and I will still say the same thing. But it was the play from both ends was wrong, but he was the instigator and he did start it. So I don't fault Jamie for the stupid comments that were said, but stupid comments were said back, and that's what happens in this community. You say one thing, I'll say another thing back.
Yeah, the big thing that the big picture out of this is just keeping certain things off social media, being it Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever it is, just to keep it clean. Obviously, when sponsors or whatever comes along and wants to invest to you and your org and whatnot, and they see stuff like this on Twitter, it's not good to see.
No, 100%. There was no reason or no need for Connor to go to Twitter with it. He already tried to prove his points in the COD group, which is the main social or the main platform that all of us are in, that all of us are involved in that chat. He tried to prove his point there. He left what he had to say there, and it should have stayed there and not gone onto Twitter. Because multiple times in that group have we mentioned to people, don't go to Twitter with things like this, and it still made its way there. And then obviously, you saw what Brad had to say, and you saw the response that Brad got. So what can you expect?
I'm definitely gonna go out on a limb and say it's him looking for recognition. I think for what he's probably done in the community. I don't know what it is. Also quite new. I'm probably in the community for now 2 years only now, so I don't know what was said and done back then. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. Just big ups is trying to keep social media clean. Even I don't know if you guys saw, but even Clay yesterday, Clayster from E United on Twitter said something about complexity using a bar with a long barrel, and he took it to them, and they replied saying you used it against some other team and you gave them your prize pool or prize money, saying sorry and whatnot. So it does happen even with it does happen even with the best, like the United or the best organizations out there and the most professional organizations out there. It does happen with them. So it's something you just sometimes just can't stop.
It's just the whole pointing fingers, the blame game thing.
I think we take it a bit too far sometimes. Like, I know I've been in a quite a fair share of Twitter arguments, but like the way we conduct ourselves and the way America conducts themselves, like we take it personal. They keep it in the game. Like they talk about the game, and then as soon as things are not working out for us in the argument, we just take it personal, and then it just looks really disgusting.
Yeah, and then one fake. Even that one fake account, Perez, that you saw. I don't know what the hell that is, but someone even said, "Why the hell is Perez on the stream?"
No, you see, like
stuff like that.
That's just people trying to get me down. Like, you know who that was, obviously.
I actually don't.
That guy, do you not? Okay, I won't say it on stream though, but that guy hasn't been getting like any sort of like. Obviously, he was known in the community previously, but right now he's not getting any attention like he used to. So now when he sees me coming up, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to expose. No, I don't want to expose him. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, a lot of people is saying in the stream, come say who's Big Stain.
Dude, just tell. Like, I mean, that's why you're here, dude. Do talk about these.
We'll keep it between us 5.
Yeah. and the other 30 in the stream.
Is it Lumo?
Is it Lumo?
No,
not Lumo.
No. Since he came out on Twitter, and then he started saying like, "Oh, you're the one that's like controlling this account," and like I don't know where it came from. Like I'm just there. I'm chilling. I'm telling this Oak to just delete his tweets and whatever. And then since he comes out of nowhere and says, "Oh, you the one that's tweeting this stuff out," like where does this come from?
To be fair, you do have the reputation though, dude. Like, let's be honest.
To do that?
No, not to do that, but I mean to like be the one that's like causing shit. Dude.
Guys, if you ever want to know Kodzade drama, go to Perez.
I don't cause it, bro. I don't cause anything.
Even if you don't cause anything,
he just likes being in the middle of it all.
No, we come to you.
No, I don't even like being in the middle of or some way the COD universe puts me in the middle. Like it can be between two random teams, and they say, "Oh no, Redim is in the middle." Like I don't know, dude. Yo,
You mustn't get involved, dude. Don't get involved, bro.
I'm not even. I don't even try to get involved, dude. I just get put into it. Like, I'm just.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think we'll leave it there. Let's just try and keep social media clean, and that be it. I'm gonna get to this question. Vinko CS, the boss himself, said in the stream just saying you need to still have an active community so that the sponsors can see there is a market to target. You have zero appeal with no one playing or bothering. We built this community on tourneys with zero prize pools that moved up to vouchers and headsets and eventually to cash. But we had to grind for no reason. And I think that's where these new, inverted commas, these new competitive players think that it should be like given to them. If I can put it that way, put it on a silver platter, and I don't think that's the way it should be. We all should grind, no matter what. Obviously, it's one of those days now that the community is building and building, and you expect a prize pool. But even if there isn't, like I'm gonna take Bravado as a example. They play 2Ks. They play every single Wednesday if there's ACGL tournaments. They play every single thing there's. Yes, they've got the time. They all, but Dylan is still studying. They're all on a gap year. So like we just need to start grinding and getting into it. Yes, it's exams as well, but we need to get back into it if exams now finish.
Yeah, like Dara, dude. Like, okay, I'll be honest with you. It's true with what you're saying that people can't just expect stuff,
Yeah.
But then you gotta understand from the player's point of view, dude. I mean, like the community is not how it used to be, dude. It's not, you can't, like we're not getting prize pools anymore. Like how do you say, like 3 years ago, we weren't getting prize pools, right?
Yeah.
And now we're getting prize pools. So you got to put that into the people's heads that are playing, dude. Like if there's money out there, people are gonna play, dude. If there's no money out there, no one's gonna play, dude. I mean, that's what's been put into everyone's heads now, dude. I mean, and it's wrong, but it's understandable why they're doing it, dude. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, no, to some extent I do agree with you as well. But yeah, hopefully on both sides, if you're new to the community, new to the competitive side of the community, just keep grinding, even if there's nothing on the line for you. Something would come down the line in any way, and you're definitely gonna get those rewards then. But we're going to move along. We're almost an hour into the stream. If you have just joined us, welcome. If you have not yet, please drop a follow. It would really be appreciated. And then you'll get a notification every time we are live. But we're going to move along to our second last topic, and that's the community questions. And the first question is going to come from Peepsy, saying underrated players, how they can be noticed and how a team can improve. We'll first start with the first part of his question, is how can underrated players or just new players be noticed in the community? Any of you can go first.
Dude, I think Dylan said it like in a YouTube video that he made a while back, or even I think it gets mentioned quite often, is that the guys new to the community need to grind the 8s. They need to play the cap 8s. They're not going to just get recognized playing. And like a lot of the new guys coming in want to join the likes of the ENs, the BVDs. They want to be there with the top orgs, but they're playing the guys who are making a team today that has gone tomorrow. Like
that's true.
They like you've got guys that are making a team today. They've made an org today, but go search that org up next week and they've broken up already. It's the guys that are coming into the community literally need to grind 8s, try to get their name out there, play 8s with the bigger guys, try and play cap 8s more, and literally just get their name out. That's like the only way in this community, because you're not going to get a guy. It's very rare in this community to get a guy at the top who's one of the top players going and finding a little guy and saying, no, come stick with me. I'm going to help you. Like, it's very rare in this community. It doesn't happen. It's next to nothing. Unlike you've got Dylan where he's coaching Intense. Who else has really put a new guy under their wing and try to show them the ropes? So they literally just need to grind it out. They need to play they need to play eights, they need to play cap eights, like, and they need to play with the bigger guys so that their skill level improves and that they improve. Even if you're getting pumped at the start, you'll only get better playing teams that are good. You don't get better playing teams that are on the same level as you. If your team is getting thrashed at the start and you're getting destroyed, if say for example Royal playing my team playing BVD, we're gonna play BVD and we lose 250 to 100, and we go away from that and we go, no, we're not playing anymore. No, we're gonna go back and we're gonna go and play another team that we in the past it's been a close 250, 240, because we're gonna feel better about it. But we're not gonna learn anything from it, and that's a lot with it. A lot that happens in this is teams get too easily after catching or hiding in one scrim, and even players, they get demotivated off one scrim or one bad VS match or bad a 2K. You got to stick it out and just grind. You're not going to get your name out there if you don't put in the time to do it.
You can always be like Perez, join 5 different teams in one season.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come. Hey,
or you can do it that way.
But like on a serious note, like getting into that topic as well. Like the reason why I've been in so many teams is, number one, either I leave because the team is inactive, or number two, there's just no practicing going on. Like I'm a guy that's dedicated. I like to put my all into everything, 100%, grind, get somewhere, help the community at the same time. But like if no one shares my vision, then it's pointless really being in a team where like things aren't reciprocated. And also like into that underrated player thing, it's all about grinding. I think like our teammate Patilla, like I think he's like one of the most underrated players out there. Like he grinded 8 and he was in a team Genocide. Like obviously it wasn't that well known. But then he kept on grinding, and then I noticed him. And then we picked him up because he started getting really good. And he's obviously shown his talent now. So he's a prime example of how a player like who started from the bottom can get to somewhere. Like anyone can get anywhere. We just put in the time.
See, like last year there was the Vinco Academy. That happened, and that was a thing for a while. But even that died down because what happened? The guys who I think it was Rocky that was holding it, and Rocky tried to get it going, but the interest wasn't shown by players. So, not fair for Rocky to be putting in efforts if no one's going to help him or no one wants to pitch up to it in the first place. So, like that thing died.
And not
if that was still carry on.
No. You said if that study is still carried on.
If that was still around like now in World War II, you would see a lot of these new guys that have come. Their names might be a little bit more out there, a lot more players, because they would be getting noticed from there and improving their skills and being taught a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. And Nata, where did you start? Because you in the community for how long already? You almost like Opa Jakes already.
Almost.
Almost. Like, how did you get into things? Obviously, you didn't start off with Ian or whatnot. How did things start off, and how did you get into the community?
All right. So, what new players must understand is it doesn't take one title. It doesn't take one card for you to be at the top, to be known. It takes like two titles, 2 years of playing, of grinding, dude, of just getting your name out there, dude. At the end of the day, it's your stats speak for yourself, dude. You don't have to do the talking. So, when I started, dude, I started like my first competitive season was Modern Warfare 3, dude, and that's when X-Daz was still there, and NBS and that's when Holden was still playing, dude. That's how long ago that was. So, it took so long to get somewhere, dude. And like the thing is, what motivated me, dude, was seeing those guys at the top, dude. That's what motivated me to go and just carry it on. So I don't know, dude, just hustle it out, grind it out. Don't expect success in 8 months, 12 months, dude. It takes long, but when you're there, it's worth it, dude. I mean, when you're there, you're the one that's gonna be bossing the teams around and not the other way.
And Luke, and you getting into the community, did you just flex your way in, or how did you get into the community?
No, actually, surprisingly, I wasn't born with muscles. I know that's hard to believe, but I came into the community. I think my first proper Call of Duty was MW3. And then I saw a scrawny little no. But yeah, besides the point, so I played MW3. I played with Rage. With Rage a lot, the team Rage. I don't know if Renato, you remember them?
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah,
Kebab.
They were PS3 though. They were PS3.
Yeah,
though.
PS3. Yeah. I started on PS3 and I played Black Ops 2 on PS3, and then I joined a team called Pain, and then I was in Astra. And when I joined Astra, so when I was in Pain, we scrimmed Astra and I played really well against them, and then Astra picked me up. So I played with Lithium and Astra Viper. And Fusions, and in that team, that's where it just kicked off for me. And yeah, ever since then, I was in Astra for a good 2 years, and we won a few events together. And yeah, I can't really give you exact date or time of how it happened because it was quite a while ago, so I can't exactly remember. But I can't remember of getting noticed or anything like that, other than just scrimming with teams and then building my way up the ladder.
No, I think the big thing is, or the first step, I would say, of getting into the community and in the scene is playing 8s. Obviously, you'll be recognized there and whatnot. If you don't know what is 8s, it's basically just 4v4. Random people joining into a lobby and you play your hard points.
Competitive rules.
Yeah, hard point and CTF. No more of that S&D stuff. I know some people sometimes play that, but if you want to get involved in 8s, usually always in our Call of Duty groups on WhatsApp, we'll always say join for 8s or join for cap 8s. Then usually being your captain 8s, your captains will pick 4 players and you go head to head with communications and whatnot, and that's always fun. But if you guys want to get into the Call of Duty chats on WhatsApp and you are big on the competitive side, you see the ads on your screen currently of Nato, myself, Vexo, Fanboys, and Redem. If you want to hit one of them up, they'll gladly invite you to the group. And you guys can always find out when there's 8s. If you have a great line, like Frosty now all of a sudden got, then you can
100.
host. Yeah, he's got 100 with that Nighthawk. So you can just imagine. You can just imagine what he's going to do now.
Yo. Oh god, dude.
Oh,
sorry.
It was hard before.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. No, I can just.
Sorry, Dore. Just one thing, dude.
Yeah.
Just correct me if I'm wrong, dude. With the whole 8s thing.
Yeah.
And the cap 8s. Am I wrong in saying that everyone just plays hardpoint?
Hardpoint CTF.
So they
generally hardpoint though.
Yeah, generally hardpoint.
See, I don't get the thought into that, dude. Why are people just playing 2 game modes instead of I understand people play different. Don't get me wrong, but it's still practice, dude. Like you're still learning new things when you play Search and Destroy. If one thing you learn more from playing S&D in cap 8s than you do with against a normal team.
Yeah, your positioning and whatnot is gonna improve so much in Search and Destroy. And I think it's basically just our community picking up on what the professional guys are doing in the CWL, and when they play 8s, they don't play Search and Destroy, and that's basically why we aren't, I think.
You know what? I think from a point of view of like cap 8s, S&D is something that must be played, but normal 8s, I don't think S&D should be played. Look at guys, you join an 8s lobby sometimes for HP, and O's don't even go near the hill. They don't even know what the hill looks like.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just trying to stats and go 30 and 10 at the end of the game and make it look like he did something, but he actually did nothing because the hill was left. Like I think S&D, it's just going to be a royal disaster with O's just doing their own thing. One guy going to this bomb, one guy going. And the only thing it would do is maybe grow your own like individual awareness in S&D and make you like improve your individual skill, but nothing else. But I don't think it would be worth it, to be honest. It's in cap 8s. I agree with
you. I agree with you, but you could argue the same point in hardpoint, dude, where people just don't play the hill. You don't play the objective in hardpoint, you don't play the objective in S&D, dude. It's the same thing. But if you guys are playing hardpoint anyway, why don't you play S&D anyway? I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I played 8s the other day, and like I love sitting in the hill. And I played the other day, and I think my three random teammates, not random, just not as in they randies, but from just the lineup that I got. But my 3 teammates caught on that I was the guy sitting in hill, and I ended up the game with like 2 minutes 53. and every single other had 15 seconds and 20 seconds. Like, if I didn't sit in the hill, what would they have learned from that game? Yeah. And what would they have taken away? That they could kill people. We can all kill people. We can all go shoot in the firing range at targets and go shoot bots. But the point of the game, HP, they completely forgot about.
That's usually what I do when I can't get kills. I just sit hill. So if you like me, then sit hill.
What I think is like another thing with that is that I think a lot of what people think is that stats is everything. I don't think stats is everything. Like, there can be a person going 15 and 23 with like 3 minutes and 13 seconds in hill and got some big kills and got hill time, but then that person will be like looked at as bad or not as good as everyone else in the 8s lobby. So like that's a whole mindset thing as well as to why people don't play that hill time in the 8s.
Also, for me, what I've noticed is in the 8s lobbies is, so say we've already got 8 people, okay, and then a better person joins. Then they will pick that shitter person, and how does that improve? Like, for me, if you want to get better, you have to play against better people. Okay?
Yeah.
Because
it's the only way you can get better. It's the only way you can get better.
Yes.
Exactly. So why are you kicking the shitter people when they're in a good lobby, in inverted commas, when that person's just there and he wants to improve? Like, it annoys me. Like, why is there ego about it?
Just
exactly.
ego, dude.
Yeah, it's exactly the thing. Because like today, I even got a message today from someone like I was close to. He just got into COD this year. He wanted to like really practice so he can like get better over the years and get somewhere. And people just kept on kicking him from 8s just because he went like 10 and like 25 or 6 and 17. Like, really, if that's how the community is gonna be, then we're not gonna have growth.
I think
everyone's talking about
growth. For sure. I think
we're not allowing it to happen.
Yeah, we should move along as we almost spent 20 minutes on that one topic. But yeah, that's how you get into the community. You've heard every single person's point of view, how they got in. But our next question comes from a Grizzly Wrecking. Now, he's trying to be all fancy here. He's saying, what is your opinion on all the old bread? And he's saying old bread is someone that used to be good at something and then decides to quit. Now let's ask Nato.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I like to think that I'm still decent on the sticks, dude. Come on, I'd like to think so, dude. I mean, but yeah, well, you're giving me the hard question now, dude.
I am, yeah. Like, why did you decide to quit? Is the big one. You were obviously you're still good. Listen, here, the handshakers ain't losing, okay? So obviously you're doing something right. So why did you stop?
I mean, I think my main reason is I don't know. I just didn't enjoy this game. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the competitive scene. The actual game I didn't enjoy. And the lack of tournaments is also one of the main reasons. But other than that, I just wanted to try something different, help the guys out on the side. And I mean, I do still play. I've been playing quite a few tournaments.
Yeah.
So, like, I've played every single end besides the major. I mean, so it's not like I've stopped playing, but I've just taken a break from online, I guess.
Yeah, the same with Deuce. I see Zach. He stopped out of the blue, I think, just because of Ventus. I think the big knock was when he was in Ventus and they broke up. Obviously, Vinko had Hypes then, and Orbits is still in FA, and Dingus is at WRG now. Beats. So I don't know, Juan. So yeah, I don't know. Like, players stop, but they still have it in them. Obviously, it's the game that sometimes doesn't suit you, or you don't like the game, so you just stop, or you have some studies to look after, or so it's one of those things. We're gonna move along to our second last question before Luke has to leave as well. The man has a busy schedule. Question number 3 is from the Randy squad, saying, what are some new people in the community that you think has potential? Now, to be honest with you, I have not seen, I've not really been playing Cap 8, so this question is basically for Luke, Vaughan, and Perez. If there's anyone that's standing out for you guys when playing 8s or scrimming.
For me, it's Patilla.
Yeah.
I mean, like Perez said, the guy's literally come out of nowhere, and as Perez said, he's got a lot of potential behind him. But yeah, I literally have never heard. I've known of him, but I've just never played against him. And when we played, I think I played against him in Cap 8s, and yeah, he really did perform. Look, I'm not going to judge someone's potential, their skill over Cap 8s. I just don't really think it's really worth it. But I mean, if the guy can drop numbers there, I don't see him having a problem dropping numbers in scrims and tournament games. So that's the one player for me. And also, it's good to see Bear. That's come out the box, and he's I think he just got into Mag 7. As well, so that's good to see. And I know I've heard of people like tuning him and saying like he's Randy and everything. And within the space of like a month or two, then he's just shot up and now he's made a name for himself in the community. So I really do have a lot of respect for guys like that just come into the community and they get knocked, and but they take the banter and they make something out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, and from your side, Vaughn.
I don't know, bro. There's a lot of players this year, and there's a lot of O's that are, how can I put it? For me, Magnus, for example. Before I went to the first Durban LAN, I thought Magnus was a joke. I thought he was a tank. I thought he was an online warrior, but he was good.
Yeah.
But then I go to the Durban LAN, and exactly what he does online, he does at LAN, and he's a beast. And like it's just players like Magnus, Rift. You guys I know everyone thinks Rift is also on LAN, but he's just as good on LAN. Like it's even in the first Durban minor, like he's a really good player. But not even just new players in that, dude. Like Jamil, for example, like Thrills. Jamil is an underrated player because yes, he's already had a name. People know of Jamil, but his line has let him down so much this year with finding it, getting on a good team. And now that he's joined Legacy, like it's a big up. Like we can finally show that he is a god. Like you go to the Durban LAN and he plays with Koala, Skara, and Bucks, and he doesn't get carried. He pulls his weights and he plays really well.
Yeah. No.
It's impossible to kill Jamil with when he's got that PPSH on LAN. It's honestly disgusting what he can do with it.
Well, that's good to know. Perez, just your final thought on who do you think is underrated? Or
definitely, as I said before, was Patilla, 100%. Number 2, Bear, as well as Luke said, he definitely came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Bear, definitely.
Also, someone else is Legits as well. Like Legits, also like he got into Capo, and now Capo in Prem as well. Like he came out of literally nowhere. Last year he was in IW. He played for Alpha, and then we teamed up in Royal in the beginning of this year, end of last year, and then he just shot up out of nowhere. He just got extremely good. His gun skill is good. Positioning is amazing. Like I don't know. It's like the players now are just starting to get to a level where the skill gap is starting to get a lot more and more smaller. So it's nice to see that. So those are definitely my top 3 underrated players right now.
Okay, and Vexo, last question from the community is from Matty OG. He's got 3 questions just for you.
Oh no! I was hoping you weren't going to actually take that.
I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you number 3. I'm going to ask you only the 2. He just wants to ask from God Basic Zaid's point of view, what cycle are you on at the moment?
As I said, I've never taken a cycle in my life. I've had bicycles in my life. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's just really banter from them. They're two good mates in real life, and the thing with Matt, both of them have taken a lot of juice, and they've just never been able to get to the natural aesthetics.
Okay, and another question from Mario G is. Gaming versus reality. He says a lot of gamers are socially awkward in person compared to over the mic, plus time wasted on oneself because of committing to a team. He says the topic of balance. Now let's speak about balance, gaming and reality. Yes, it's very important. Listen, if you're still in school, like by all means, your studies comes first before playing a game or on console. Even if we're trying to build a community, your studies come first. Your family comes first, your friends and whatever and whatnot. But how do you keep the balance, Vaughan, when you guys were still in school, even if you're now still studying? Perez, I know you're still studying. How do you keep that balance between the two?
It's quite hard actually, because like university throws a lot of curveballs at you, especially now with this exam period. But what I like to do is I like to space myself out, have a timetable set. Like I go to some classes, extra classes, just to give me that like advantage, so I'm able to like have more time for myself. Also, like at home, I have like a timetable that I can use that can space my gaming out with working and studying as well. Because mostly I game at night and I study in the day. Because I go to Stellenbosch, so I have to drive every single day from Cape Town to Stellenbosch, which is and then back, which is 120 k's every single day. So I basically get my work done and studying done at the university. So when I get home, I'm basically down to grind. Yeah. So that's how I handle it.
And you guys, Vaughan, Luke, Renata, how do you handle? Obviously, Vaughan, you work, so like, or is it 100% just grinding? Obviously, you still have a woman to look after with, and sometimes
no, dude.
Kids.
So this year was different, bro. Like last year was easy. Like I could go to work, come home, and just grind literally 5 o'clock with the O's during the week, and then you got the girlfriend on the weekend and cock. But like this year I took on to start studying again, or to start studying this year. So now it's like go to work, get to work in the morning, come home, get home at 5, 5:30, literally shower, eat something, study from like 6 to 7:30, get on with the team to play from 7:30 till like 10, 11, go off. The problem is you don't go off straight away. Watch TV till like 1 o'clock, DOS again, and the cycle repeats, bro. And then, like I've got an understanding girlfriend, which thank the fucking. Because like during the week she knows. Even if she comes here during the week, like I study and I game with the O's during the week. She knows, and weekends she gets her day. So I can't complain, bro.
So, that's one thing that I need to touch on. Sorry.
Yeah, you can go.
Is that you need to have an understanding girlfriend if you're in the gaming community. Because my last relationship ended because of gaming. COD is life, boys. So I chose my COD over my girlfriend.
That's true, dude. Yo.
Dude, if your girlfriend, if you can tell her, love, tomorrow night I'm playing a VS gaming match, I'm not in your house, and she goes, it's okay, I'll see you. You put a ring on that finger, guys. That you leave it at that.
You have to.
She knows. Like she doesn't complain. She doesn't bitch. She doesn't do anything. Dude, if I tell her, sorry, I'm gonna go now and play for 4 hours, she just goes, okay, it's cool. I'll just watch TV. Like I can't wish for any better, dude.
Yeah. No, definitely. Guys, last subject now. Last topic is we're going to the rapid fire questions. And this is for Mr. Vexo Flexo. We're gonna get
bring them to me, baby.
We're gonna get his Vexo opinion now. So I can see hashtag Vexo opinion. And this is the last 10 questions. I'm gonna drop you rapid fire questions. Answer them as quick as possible. Don't think too long.
Someone give me a beat.
Boom, boom, boom.
No,
dude, I'm sure Perez will do it.
Boom, boom, boom. No. Okay, but here it goes. Best teammate ever you had?
In my whole career?
Yeah.
It has to be Inferno.
Your favorite organization?
Astra.
Your biggest rival?
Inferno as well.
Most difficult guy to kill?
Frosty with 100 meg.
Frosty with 100 meg. What did you say, Luke?
I said Rael. I haven't played Frosty on his new line yet.
Who's got the biggest stalk but no bite?
Perez.
Lumo.
Yo, you're gonna tell me like that, dude?
This question is only for Luke, okay? Best OBJ in the game?
Careful
I have
now.
to say, Scurry isn't the OBJ. Hey?
Yeah, well, you can say
He's a
Scarra.
really rapid.
Okay. Your best slayer.
Frosty.
Easiest guy to kill. Please don't say Dipman again.
Why is everything?
Dallas.
I don't even play anymore, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I thought you would say someone like Ken Luke, maybe.
I just don't want to get on anyone's bad side in the comp community.
So
I know you can take the joke. So.
Okay.
This is just, it's just banter, Luke. Come on, boy.
Yeah,
Okay. It's just banter.
Okay.
I'm scared, eh? I'm scared.
Your CWL team you support. What CWL team do you support?
What CWL team I support?
Yes.
I support EU all the way.
Okay.
United.
And your biggest card idol?
Well, it has to be Scump. I know that's very mainstream and original of me, but it has to be. I mean, that guy, he blew up the COD scene by himself, literally.
Okay. Yep, that is basically it. That's your 10 questions. I just heard Perez in 2 of those answers, but that came from Vaughan. Come on. Guys, but that is it. Thank you for joining me. Renato, Luke, Vaughan, Perez. Really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us for a stream. To all of you guys in stream currently, if you have not yet, please drop a follow on the stream. I would really appreciate that. And for all of you that's talking into the chat, I can see Kovs, Nato, Mr. Nicholas Holden, and the boss himself, Dinko, Mr. CS is going at it. So maybe I just get those people in the next podcast.
The next one,
yeah. But guys, I really do appreciate it. Thanks for joining in. It's been a quick. Yeah.
Can I just do one shout out so that I know that I'm getting picked up in Henny's Ford Ranger at EGE?
Yeah, you have to do this quickly before I end it.
Okay. For Serb, you can hear me there? He wants everyone to know if you chat shit, you're going to get banged.
Okay, well, guys, just before I end, thanks very much for joining in. We hit almost 50 views at once. All the support is always appreciated. I love the support when it comes to the podcast. Sunday we're gonna have it's not a 2K from ACGL, but it will be a casting from myself and Nicholas Holden on his stream. So we're gonna cast some games this Sunday for ACGL. And yet again, thank you to everyone. Please drop a follow before you leave. And just yet again, if you are new to the scene and want to join us on our Call of Duty WhatsApp group, then you can add any of us on your screen. Currently, all our ads is there in front of you. But for now, check you for the next one. The next one will probably be not this week coming, but the week after that on Wednesday. Really appreciate it, and I'll check you at the next one. Cheers.
Perfect. Cheers.